Take two. It says live. Now we just have to wait until this comes up. Yeah, that's... YouTube has a very specific thing where I can see it and it's working, so I know it's working now. If you don't have the live page open specifically when before, at least in Streamlabs, I can't speak to anything else, but at least with Streamlabs, if you do not have the YouTube live page specifically open, it will not work. Just will not work. Period. So I don't know why that is. Like right now it says chat is disabled for this live stream. Well, I know it isn't. I know it isn't for a fact because I can type test 1 and there it is. So, oh, unless it's because I restarted. Hold on. That could be. That could be. Yeah, so much for getting this going up and running in 2 minutes. See, it would have been up and running in 2 minutes, except for, you know, this. So, fix doc page, causing lost processes. Ooh, you know what? They came out with an update for the thing that manages all the streams, and I believe what it's referring to is the exact problem I've had, which is where you have all these multiples of things that come up. Hold on. This is probably worth doing. I would bet. Put that in there. Replace. Delete. Kill this. All right, and let's restart this up. And I think that will solve that other problem I was having. So let's see. Okay. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and do activate. We'll do these one at a time. Yep, there it is. Sure enough. Okay. See, that fixed that. Activate. And there it is. Switch to live and activate. And there we are. And now I press this button and that gives me my dock. Luckily nobody's viewing yet, so that's really good. Because I wouldn't want people to see this mess. Okay, so I guess it's this one maybe? Or is it that one? Or is it... Jeez, I don't know which one it is. Well, I guess there's an easy way to find out. Let me do this. Test 2. Switch over here. It's not that one. Oh yeah, test 2. There it is. Okay, good. Good. And let's do a test 3. And there it is. So we are good. Okay. So all I have to do now, I've done everything else, is I just have to hit my enter buttons. And once I hit my enter buttons, I am ready to go. And then we'll see what minute we're at, because I'm sure it's not 2 minutes. I'm very, very sure of that. All right, let's close that. What are we? Well, actually, you know what? Loophole. 3 minutes because I restarted the stream. Yeah, that's not going to count. Okay. I tell you, I at some point I actually really mean it that I want to be able to have this stream up and running within a minute. I'm going to get there. All right, doing something a little different tonight. I'll explain in a second. It's just to get my thing oriented here, and I'm going to get a quick sip of water. I'm not doing the Halloween images tonight. What I'm working on is, hold on. My wife is a body combat instructor, as you can see on the screen here, for Les Mills Body Combat. And they recently did a release of their 100th training routine. I don't know what they actually call them. But basically they release a set of workouts. And so all the instructors get them, have to learn them. And my wife, as part of that, wants to have stickers that she's going to give out to people as they learn it, because they do a whole rollout about a month after they get it. So she said, oh, you want to draw a little something? So I looked through all the marketing materials they have, and I picked 3 of the people, as you can see here, and I'm going to draw them. And then I'll use this logo because that's the official one. But basically in that way she can make stickers. And people like to put them on like their, let's see what we call it, their water bottles. So that's what I'm going to be working on for a little while here. So let's start with, well, you know, let's start with the woman in the center. Okay, so woman in the center is this. Actually, I should rename this. So we'll say woman, just because it's the easiest thing. This is actually, rather than do that, this is actually even easier for me. It's just to know it won't matter to me. So I will say right, and I will say left, because the reality is I don't know. I don't really know. So center, left, right is the easiest way for me to cover this stuff. So let's go ahead and get a... Now, let me see how many layers I have on this canvas. Should be a lot. It's only 12 by 12. Oh, yeah, 115. I've only used 25. We'll be fine. We'll be good. Oh, my test 2 thing just showed up in the multi-stream now. Wow, there's a big delay on that. But honestly, I don't care because that's not what I'm looking at, so it doesn't matter. I mean, that's nice to have, but it's not essential. So, let me make sure... Did everything post here? Okay, and that's been... Okay, I can close this now. Gone. So I don't need that open anymore. Right. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab a pen. Let's see what our thickness is. It's ooh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. Where are we on? What is that? Is that 5? That's a 5. Okay. You know what? I kind of like that. Now, for this woman, or this figure, I should say, this figure is the only one that is centered, meaning looking right at the viewer. So I'm just going to use the mirroring for this one specifically. In fact, what I'm going to do is on the center one, I'm going to turn off the shading just so I have the lines. So I'm just going to use the mirrored symmetry on this just so that I can get the face right. Wow, why is that off by so much? Oh, because the center line's off. Hold on, I have to adjust that. Edit. Let's zoom way in here. Bring that up. Yeah, because it's not centered. And we'll center that right there. Okay. Okay, that's better. Now we can actually use the centering line. And it should line up better. And it does. Good. And I'm not going to center everything, but just certain elements because, like I said, this particular figure is looking right at the viewer. So I do want the symmetry of the face to be correct. So we're just going to go ahead and use that for this, just so that this particular part is symmetrical. And it won't be everything, it'll just be the face. I do want that to be, do want the face to look correct. So we'll just go ahead and do that. And the neck. Probably the face, the neck. The rest of it does not need to be symmetrical. Oh, and nose. You do want a symmetrical nose. There we are. And we'll go ahead and do this line, just that one. Again, just to keep the symmetry. And then let's do another layer. We'll do the drawing assist on that as well. And we'll go ahead and do this. And we'll have that meet right there. Okay, that's too pointy. I don't want it to look like a cone head. It's just hard to see because where the pencil is, I can't really see. That'll work. That works. And then we'll do the lower jawline right here. Okay. And then back on this layer, we'll do the neck. We'll just bring that up like that. And that's all I need to do symmetrically. Everything else can be free-handed because the rest of it does not need to be as symmetrical as the face does. Face, it's important to have symmetry in the face. You do want to have a symmetrical face. It's just aesthetically pleasing. And that's what the image is, so I do want to keep the image close to what it was. Okay, so we can turn the symmetry off there. We don't need that. Let's go ahead and do another new layer, and let's draw the eyes. Oh, that's an eraser. Let's get the eyes drawn in. Go ahead and circle those. And we will get that placed on the other side. Duplicate, please. Thank you. Move that over. And let's make sure the eyes are even. They are, and that they look like they're looking at you, which they do. So that's a plus. Okay. We can merge the eyes down. All right. Let's go ahead and do another layer here. You know what? Actually, I'm not going to worry. This is going to be on a sticker. This is one of these cases where you have to think about the fact that on a sticker, it's probably going to be like a 2-inch sticker. You're not going to see a lot of this. On a sticker, it's only going to be, okay, let's say that big. So a lot of this stuff you're not going to actually see on a sticker. You know what I mean? So there's points where you have to, when you're doing this stuff, go, okay, well, how much detail do I really need here? Probably not as much as I would on a large image because it's going to be on a sticker. You know, you still have to be able to see what it is. You don't just completely ignore any of the stuff. But hey, Mike. Oh, that's interesting. So the emoji that you put there in the multi-stream window on Streamlabs, it says face purple smiling fangs, which is good because on my screen, that emoji is so small that it looks like a grape with eyes because I can't see it because it's so small. So I'm glad that you put that there so I know what it is. So thank you. And welcome to the stream. Happy Thursday, if it is Thursday for you. Depending on what time zone you're in, you may actually be way ahead of me. Could be Friday for you. It just depends. All right, so we got some hair here. So again, I'm not going to worry too much about this because, I mean, I'm going to clean it up, don't get me wrong, but this is something where, again, at that size, it's going to be tougher to see this stuff. So I'm not going to worry too much about the line work specifically. Let me turn that off, though, just so I can get the shirt correct. So let's go ahead and just do this. We can join these lines up later. Right now, I'm just getting them laid in. And I'm not overly concerned if I don't follow the template exactly. It is not a big deal in this case, because again, at the size this is going to be, you really won't be able to see the little joints anyway. It's not going to be very obvious to anybody. I mean, I'm not going to make it sloppy, obviously, but at the same time, it's definitely not going to be something where I'm as worried about the cleanliness of the joints in between each line as I would be on something that was, say, 18 by 24. Well, there you got to pay attention. That's a much different story. In this one, though, there's a little more leniency because most people aren't going to be able to tell if there's a slight bit on the joint that's off. Yeah, seems like I got to fix that. I don't know why I did that line like that, but that's okay. Nice part is I don't have to be, like I said, I don't have to be overly accurate with this stuff. So, not a problem. Not a problem. Okay. Yeah, doing my stream a little bit slightly later than usual. Just worked out that way. Sometimes it does. But I wanted to make sure I still did it on a Thursday, so it's fine. Probably going to be about 45 minutes or so. Might be an hour. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But my guess is it's going to be closer to 45. We'll see. Okay, can't even see that line, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. Bottom of the shirt right there. All right, let's switch now to the shorts. Okay. All right. Just have that line come up, because that line would be there anyway. We'll hitch there. That line up. Perfect. So that coming there. That goes there. Again, I'm not worried about the lines blending in between different things because that's all going to get cleaned up eventually. It will get cleaned up when I get into the shading and other bits. This is really just laying out the lines so that the basic shapes and everything are in the right spot. And again, there's a degree of, okay, you won't be able to see this once it's at its actual size, meaning its printed size. I think she's going to print these through probably threadless. I've used threadless for a lot of sticker stuff. I like what they do. Good quality, not overly expensive for something like this. I mean, she's not going to be printing out hundreds. If she was, it'd be a different story, but she's not, so it's okay. All right, so we'll just do this and this. I'm not going to worry about actually drawing shoelaces because, again, you'd never see them. At this size, you are never going to see those shoelaces. It's just not going to happen. Oh, that's my mouse is in the frame. Get out there. So I'm not going to be concerned about that. Am not going to be concerned about it. And let's draw this. I doubt I'll finish this whole thing tonight because, again, I don't want to be sloppy with it. So I'm going relatively quickly for how I usually do things, but it's still going to take me a little bit. So doubtful I'll have it done on this stream. But, you know, figured I'd do it. Something different from what I usually do. So just a little bit of a different thing to look at. My wife is very excited because she likes doing this training stuff, so she's happy to have it. So yeah, she had mentioned it. I'd like to do stickers. Would you buy it? Originally, I think she was thinking about doing a t-shirt, but t-shirts are tough. Not because, I mean, the image would be the same, except in that case, if it was on a shirt, then I would be doing things slightly differently because that's a much bigger image. So then I would be more concerned about the joint lines, you know, where the lines meet each other and that type of thing. But since this is going to be a sticker, it really just isn't worth worrying about because nobody's going to notice it. But yeah, she's so originally she had said shirts. The problem with shirts is you have to know everybody's size, and you have to shirts when you get them printed, you know, even if you know people's sizes, as I've learned the hard way, you don't really know what the printing is going to do as far as that size. Like different shirts that different printers use are different sizes. It can be a whole mess. So I think she was smart to decide to do stickers or magnets. I had said magnets too. I always like magnets, but it makes sense for fitness stuff. You put it on a water bottle. I do think that makes more sense. So when she said, "Oh, I think I'll do a water bottle," I said, "Yeah, you know what? That makes sense. Makes sense for what you're doing." That made sense. So stickers, it is. Right at the end, I blew it. Had it up to that point, and like I said, it doesn't really make a difference to me in terms of drawing. Just changes certain things, like, you know, how careful I have to be, how much I have to pay attention to little things. With a sticker, it's a little bit more lenient, so you can be a little bit sloppier is not the right word for it. You can be a little bit looser, better word for it, because you're not going to see it. Nobody's going to see it. Not just you. Nobody's going to see it. Most people are not going to have good enough eyes or look close enough for it to matter. Now, I'll still keep this 12 by 12 image in case she ever wants to do something else with it, but in terms of the sticker, this is going to be overkill by quite a bit. So, all right, let's clean, arms. Let's do the arms. Let's get the arms in here. Right, okay. Bring that down, round that hand out a bit. Okay. Let's get this arm right there. Let's add some muscle tone in here. Just a bit. I don't need to go crazy. These people aren't supposed to look like the Hulk. There's, you know, it's not, I don't want to over exaggerate too much. There's always that impulse, but too many muscles, and I mean, don't get me wrong, there are people who are heavily muscled, but it doesn't always look good. In fact, sometimes it can make people look unreal. So you don't really want to do that. You want to still make it look like they're human beings. So we're going to keep things grounded. And plus, you know, the actual figure I base this on is not massively muscled. Don't get me wrong. In great shape. Certainly far better shape than I'm in. No doubt about it. But, you know, we're not talking about gigantic forearms like this with, you know, muscle and veins and, you know, huge, you know, deltoids and a massive, you know, Hulk muscle. Like, it's not that. These are people who are in good shape, not bodybuilders. Bodybuilders tend to have the more exaggerated proportions because they're aiming to really develop and show off their muscles. So they tend to be the Schwarzenegger type looking, you know, giant looking people. But people who are just fit generally are not that massive because that's not really the goal. They're not sculpting their bodies into something the way that bodybuilders do. So yeah, the figure that I base this on, none of them are, I think the one on the left is probably the most muscled of all the figures that I based these off of, which I don't have the image on the iPad, or I would show you that. But it was part of the promotional materials for this release. They had several images of a lot of different people, a lot of options. But I kind of liked this one figure as the center grounding image. Mr. Moss, I let my wife know I'm a bodybuilder now. Unfortunately, it's a dad bod. Yeah, well, hey, listen. You know what? One thing that I actually really like about the modern kind of outlook on fitness and stuff is there is a good awareness now that at one point, being fit, you had to, I think people thought you had to look a certain way. They know now that's not what it is. There is a much better awareness of the fact that, you know, fitness doesn't look one way. So the dad bod thing, you know, I know you're joking, but hey, that doesn't mean you're not extremely fit. That's what I would tell people. I would just go with that. All right, let's do this because we're gonna just go ahead and, oh wow, that's really, really big. Let's go down to 2. There we go. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry because this figure's hair is pretty dark, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Yeah, my wife is definitely, of the two of us, the one who's into fitness. I am certainly not. It's just not for me. She's tried many times to get me to go to the gym, and I just have zero interest. In the early, well, not the early days, but when the pandemic was just lightening up where you could actually go to places again, because she really wanted to get into shape, and she was going, and at first, she really didn't know anybody at the gym. She hadn't started taking classes yet because she wasn't really sure that was for her. And so I went with her. I went with her in those, you know, early on. I outpaced her on a fast walk yesterday, so I would have to see, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Fitness comes in all shapes and forms. That's my larger point. But yeah, I went with her in the early days when she didn't really know exactly what she wanted out of the gym. And oh, I hated it. Oh, I hated it. I just hated it. I did it because I didn't want her to be there by herself. I didn't want her to be, you know, I wanted to be supportive, so I was there, and I did it. But man, at no point was it something I enjoyed in any way. Not that I say anything at the time. I kept my mouth shut because I didn't want her to think she was dragging me there. But no, not for me. Not for me. Now, luckily, she knows a lot of other trainers at the gym, people who teach these classes, and she really enjoys doing the classes with, you know, she's actually teaching her own class, and she's having a lot of fun with it. That's great. That's great. So I'm very happy that she found it. But yeah, those early days, I was just counting the minutes. I'm like, okay, when is this going to end? Because I just am not a gym person. Let me turn these off for a minute because I just want to clean these lines up. Am not a gym person. Just not for me. Happy for her because she's a lot healthier. She's lost like 60 pounds, so she's doing great. I'm very happy that she likes it and that she's having a good time with it. That's great. I got no issues with that whatsoever. Like I said, I just know it ain't for me. Wait a minute. Did I accidentally select the wrong pen? Oh, there it is. Okay. I got it. I just know it's not my thing. That's all. Oh, I missed some of the hair. Let's get that hair. Yeah, but, you know, I tried it. That's one thing. I tried it. Nobody can say I didn't give it a shot. Just realized, nope, this is not going to be my thing. I mean, I kind of knew that, to just be honest about it. I somewhat knew that going in. I really didn't have any. There was no part of me that thought, you know what, I'm going to get into the gym and I'm going to change my opinion on it, because it's not like it's been the first time I've been to the gym, or been to a gym, not this gym. So it's not like I didn't know how I feel about it. But you know, there was always the outside chance. So I'm glad I did it for a couple reasons. One, for my wife to be supportive, and the other so that, you know, I can honestly say, hey, look, I tried. I tried it and I hated it. So you can't say I didn't at least try it. That's one thing. One thing I'm pretty good about is, yeah, I'll try it. I'll try it. Kind of like vegetables, most of which I can't stand. But I try them. I will try them once. Even though in my head I'm pretty sure I'm going to hate them quite a bit. I do it anyway. Do it anyway. So that nobody can say, well, you didn't even try. Nope, can't say that about me. One of the few things I can say, no, can't pin that one on me. I tried it. So yeah, so these are going to be stickers that she's going to give out to her class for people when they start doing this new release. That's I think she's actually practicing it. She just went to the gym a while ago, and I think that's to start practicing it because apparently there's new moves in it or something. I don't really know. I saw a little bit of it. It all looks the same to me, which is a lot of people who are sweating and moving faster than I'm ever going to move in my entire life. So I was like, oh yeah, that looks difficult. I don't know anything about it. Okay, so now we got these are our shading layers. So let's go ahead and let's move this up. And in fact, I can go ahead and merge that down. Just so it's got the head there. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, sorry, screen froze. For a minute, I'm like, why is it not following where I am? What? No, I see what it did. Okay. I'll give that a second. Come back. Because I'm a little bit past where you guys are. There we are. So yeah, we see we got all our black outlines done here. Okay. So now we can do the shading on this. So what I am going to do with this is I'm going to use thin. Actually, let's see. That does look like it's a thinner pen. Oh no, it's not. Let's go down to like 3. I don't like using that different pen. That pen kind of bothers me. Let's use this one. We'll drop down to 3. There we go. And these will be my shading lines. The shading lines for this, which 38 I believe is empty. Yes, it is. Excellent. So let's go ahead and start putting in our kind of shading lines here. All right, let me do this all in one shot. And I'll do this over the course of 2 layers, just so it's not interrupting itself. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, that right there is just a thing in itself. All right. Oh, you know what? Let me do this. Bring this from down here and then bring that up like that. And we'll do a nice thin line there. Okay. All right. Over here, we'll do that. And we will do that. I'm not, unlike a lot of stuff, I'm not too concerned about how realistic these are. These are more to be stylized because, like I said, these are going to be on stickers. So you don't, you know, hyper-realism is not going to work at a small scale. It's just not. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be hyper-realistic. It's supposed to be something fun. So I'm going to make it fun. So rather than worrying about it, oh, it's got to be perfectly realistic, like the shadows have to lay exactly as they would on an actual person. Nope. Nope. I'm not. Whoops. Come back. There we go. I'm not worrying about that. In this case, this is just supposed to be fun. Okay, good. The screen isn't. I just have to keep an eye on the screen freezing because it does occasionally. And I don't want you to be staring at a still image for 5 minutes because that's going to be annoying. So bring that over here. Okay. We'll do the face stuff later. Okay. So let's have this come up like that and that. And we're going to bow that out like that. And then have this swoop in and up. Okay. Let's do this one like that. And then have that. Okay, wait, that's going to sweep up. So this is going to come out of here. It's going to sweep up like that and join into there. All right. Sweep that around like that. This comes up there. That's all fine. Okay, okay, I gotta leave that for now. Let's bring this like that and loop that in there. Oh, I didn't put any shading on the fingers from the image, but I can kind of figure that out. That's not going to be a big deal. All right. Okay, let's do one more layer so that I can do the lines that I didn't want it to run into the other stuff. So we'll do this coming around like that. That's going to go there. That's going to go like that. I'll clean all these lines up in a minute, so it's not going to stay like this. Okay. And since that line doesn't run in there, we'll just go ahead and bring that up. Okay. That's got... missed that one. So let's bring this up like this, and then have it come down and sweep in. That way that's uniform. We're going to have that come out like that. This needs to be a little bit rippled, so it looks like it's following the clothes. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do the leg down here, so we bring that like this. Very nice. Let's bring that right through there. Sweep that. There we are. Okay, I think I got the rest of it. I got the rest of it there. All right, let's get the face stuff in here. So we'll do a little bit there, a little bit there. Have this come up and sweep in. Actually, that would be harsher because of the way that lip dent. Hold on. Hearing a weird noise. I'm just listening. I think it's coming from outside our house. Yeah, I think it was like I think it might have been a siren in the distance. It just sounded weird because the air conditioning's on. Because, it's 102 degrees again. Even though, it's September. So sometimes the sounds get distorted. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something that sounded like it was like a noise from machinery or the AC unit having a problem, because that's all I would need. But fortunately, it's not. Like I said, I think it was just a siren. Because I have noticed when the AC unit is running a siren in the background, because there's just a lot of fire trucks lately because there's been these little fires all over the place. California's just had a lot of little fires. So you hear fire trucks going and they can sound really distorted when the AC's going. So that's just all I was checking. Just wanted to listen for a minute and make sure that's what it was, and that's what it sounds like to me. So that's going to go right there. Okay, so let's turn off. There we are. Okay, so let's go ahead and clean these lines up first. But that's where it's going to go. And I have to get some color samples off of the other images. Because, of course, I should have done that when I did the initial drawings, and I completely forgot. What a non-surprise. That's okay, though. Not a huge deal. Because, again, this image is not going to be done tonight. If I can just get the rough line work done, I'll be thrilled just on this one figure, which I think I probably can. That would be good in itself. All right, nothing there. I don't mind that going up there. That's all okay. Let's clean that. Let's clean that. And that. And that. Nope. And, of course, those. And that right there. That's all okay, I think. Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's switch to the other one. There we are. Let's clean this up. Go. Just looking for anywhere where it's breaking the lines. There we are. Just an easy cleanup thing to do. Let's see. Serious. That's great. I'll have to follow with that. Looks super cool and interesting. Unfortunately, I can't stay. It has to leave. Great few people will follow. I wish them a nice morning, lunch, evening, or night, depending on what's with them. Can hardly speak English. Welcome to the club. Believe me, if you had heard some of the ways that I screwed up the most basic phrases. Thank you, by the way, for stopping by. I appreciate you coming by. Can't stay, that's no problem. I appreciate you coming by for any amount of time. Really do. So thank you for stopping by, and have a nice, whatever it is where you are. As you said, morning, lunch, evening, or night. Oh, lunch makes me hungry. Just the word lunch makes me hungry. But thank you for coming by, Serious. Also, that's a great username. I like usernames where I have to look at them for a second and figure them out. Because the serious. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to be. Like XM. Sirius XM. All right. But yeah, thank you for coming by. No problem. You gotta go, you gotta go. I say that to everybody. I'm like, you don't feel like... I get that some people feel like, oh, I should stay for a certain amount of time. No, if you gotta go, go. Not a problem at all. Do not stick around if you can't stick around. Does not offend me at all. I have no expectation that people are going to stick around for any amount of time. I do know people who watch streams for hours. I don't think I could do that. I mean, I shouldn't say that, though, because I do watch long-form YouTube videos that people do on stuff that in some cases can be... I mean, I made a YouTube video that was 5 hours, so I really shouldn't say anything. Okay, so I think all these lines are clean now. So I can go ahead and merge these together, I believe. And that's our shadow lines. Okay. I am going to go ahead because white eyes freak me out. So I'm going to go ahead and just fill these eyes in because it just freaks me out when I see them with just the whites. That's better. Much, much better. Okay, so that's figure 1. So let's go ahead and we're going to group all that together. And we'll call that center line work. That way I know the difference. There we go. So there we are. Okay, now let's do... And I don't have to finish them all because they're going to go behind that logo. I like listening to streams while painting models, but these shorter ones are nice to wind down with. Yeah, I thought for a while, because I know a lot of people do longer streams. A lot of the streams I see are like 3-4 hours. Honestly, I'm just not built for that. I'm really not. And I do think that it's good to have ones that are not as much of a time commitment, where you don't have to sit there for 3 hours, you know? Plus, I think then, because I take these and I put them into YouTube, I think it works better for that too, where people, if they catch them later, don't have to sit there for 3 hours following what I'm doing. That's just, yeah, it's just how I decided to do it. Not that I have any problem with anybody who does it the other way. If they do it the way that works for them. So some people, they want to do longer streams. That's great. Do longer streams. I just know it isn't for me. Just not for me. Okay, so let's do this one now. This one's a little bit more involved because we got a little bit wilder hair here. So we'll just go ahead and do that first, because that's going to be the most involved part of any of these, is especially hair like this that's very spiky. Make sure my screen didn't freeze. Okay, good, it didn't. Just checking, because sometimes it does and I don't notice it. So okay. Yeah, I got lucky because these promotional materials had a lot of people doing different, I assume, body combat moves. Again, I don't know. I don't know enough to even identify. But what I was kind of hoping and got lucky is that they had people that were kind of doing opposite things, meaning I found 2 people that were doing like high leg kicks, whatever those are actually called, but doing them in opposite directions, because I like the idea of having it being a balanced image. Meaning that when you look at all 3, so if I turn these all on, see, it's got this nice balance. That's kind of what I like in my images, where it's like, okay, this is about the same weight as this relative to the circle. That's what I'm aiming for. So I got lucky because I found these 2 different people with the knees up, but not doing, I didn't want to have just the same thing. They're not doing the same exercise. That would have been a little boring. So I got lucky that I found 2 people who were doing different things. So that was great. Okay, so let's do the ear here. I'm going to give the ear a little bit more personality than I think it actually had for the person. Yeah, just a little bit more of a line to it. And then do the eyes and the nose here, which I think I just did one continuous line for this because it made sense. And then you just get a bit of the eyebrow here. I don't even think you could see the other one. Okay. And then mouth comes down to chin. All right. And then kind of just bending necklines. I don't know what else you would call those, but they were there. And let's get the eyes in. The eyes in this case were a little different because it was a side image. It wasn't a straight-on image, so got to do this a little bit differently. All right. There we go. Chop that off there. Oh, wait. Knock that down. Just trim that. Okay. Yep. All right. So, new layer. Let's do the arms. The arms, which you can tell I didn't do that one very well because that's not a muscle. That is not how a normal human muscle looks. It's more like this. But that's why you do sketches. So that you can fine-tune these things when you realize that you made a muscle that doesn't look anything like a human muscle looks. That's okay. Like I said, that's why you sketch things. So that you can, catch them when you do this stuff later. So you go, oh, okay, that's not right at all. We're not going to do that. So that comes up into there. We'll sweep that up into the thumb. And we'll bring that finger here. And I'm not worrying about whether these look right or not on the edges because you can see these other fingers are going to go over them anyway, but I'm just putting them in there as placeholders. Okay, let's go ahead and do the leg. All right, so the leg come out like this. Give a little bit more definition to the kneecap, just a bit. And we'll have this come up and shoot there. There we are. Have this come up like this. Bring that over there. And then into the shorts. And not much of this leg that I got to worry about, but we'll put it in there anyway. Most of this is going to get obscured by the logo. But we put it in there anyway, just in case you see any of it. Don't want to just leave it out. Okay, screen's still good. Just making sure it didn't freeze. Have to occasionally just do a quick check of that. Where are we at time-wise? 42 minutes. Wow. Jeez. Time flies. Yeah, the back part doesn't look right to me, but we're going to fix that. We're going to fix that, I think. So this part is fine. But I think this needs to be a little bit thinner. Yeah, that looks better. That looks too much like a humpback to me. This person is not, again, none of these people are jacked. They're not huge muscle mountain people. So I don't want them to look like that in their proportions. They shouldn't. So I'm going to make sure they don't. All right, this is the shirt here. That goes behind the hands, so you don't really need all that. That's going to come like that. And then, let's see here. We're going to bring this over like this, because that's where the shirt, this is the bottom edge of the shirt. And then we'll bring this like this. And that's going to come up to right there. Here we are. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Wraps around like that. That comes like that. Sweep that. This can come in like that. And that comes down. Okay, now we need the sleeve of the shirt like this. Let's give it those little edges so it looks a little bit natural. All right. And bring that like that. Okay. Back here we can do that just to have it give a little bit of texture to it. Okay. We need a couple lines here. So we'll have a line coming like that, a line coming like that. All right. And we can do the shoe on this same layer. There's really no reason not to. So let's do this. This comes up. This comes over here. It sweeps. This is where the laces are, more or less. All right, and then we'll do that, 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 that. In there, okay. Bring this down here. This comes up and around like that. Bring this up, and that's the back of our shoe. Okay. And if you type something in the chat, I am making sure I occasionally look up. You don't have to. Not saying anybody has to type anything. Just don't want people to think I'm completely ignoring it. I do glance up here and there. I'm going to get a quick drink of water, so give me a second here. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, we need to do... You know what? Where was that? On this one, do the fingers on here. So let's do this. We're going to have this one go behind that one. So that one's okay. This will come over this. Not like that, though. That doesn't look right. There we are. There we are. Okay. That one's good on the hair because then I can go in and get rid of it. Is this an empty layer? Yes, it is. That's going to be the shorts. Okay, so let's do the shorts. Start off there. The weird part about clothing folds is a lot of times and I use like reference to get these things, and they never look real to me. When I draw them, they always seem like they're fake, but this is how clothing does fold. It's weird. It's very hard for me to reconcile how clothing actually folds because it never quite looks right to me. It just doesn't. Even though I know I'm looking right at the reference material. I'm like, yeah, that's how that fold looks. But then you draw and it just never looks. Some artists can do it. There are some artists who've got folds down impressively. I am not one of them. I always think my folds don't look right. That doesn't matter. I mean, in the end, they're just folds. So it's not something where it has to be perfect. It really isn't. But at the same time, I sit there and go, how do these other people get these things to look so good? And it's because everybody has their strengths. I mean, I know the answer. Even when I ask myself that, I know the answer. And it's that, hey, different artists have different strengths. You know? I draw eyes pretty well. I like drawing eyes. Some people have trouble with those. Now, not in every scenario, but I can draw a good eye if I need to. Let me do one more layer here, just because some of these are really intersecting lines. So I want to just be able to do some easy stuff like that. Like that. That. Oh, I missed the whole section. Whoop. There we go. Got it. All right. Okay, let's clean these lines up. Oh, I see the screen did freeze this time. Oh, well, I'll get it back. 2 seconds. You didn't miss much. Really didn't. Be right back. And then I think that's a good place. There we are. And then I think we'll go ahead and bring the stream to a close. So let's go to the face. Let's clean this up. You know what I am going to do? I did say I don't like the white eyes just freak me out. So at least give them eyes. There we go. Just had to do that. Okay, let's do this. Wait, did I miss? Oh yeah, I did. I missed one thing here. Let me fix that. And that was that. It's a small thing, but these things add up. There we go. I knew something was missing. Figured out what it was. Okay, so I think that's the only, is just the head. Oh yeah, let me fix that. That does not need to go into the hair. That doesn't need to be there. This doesn't need to be there. Okay, we're good there. And then let's go to, this is the arm's okay. So this part is what's intruding into the arm. So we want to, there we go, cut anything that's in the arm out, because it shouldn't be in the arm, like that. All that comes out. And this. Let's see. Let me check that. Oh, yeah, down here. That comes out. That's great. Is that going up into there? No, I think we're good on the rest. Sorry, I'm not trying to make a bunch of flashing images at people. There was somebody who was talking today about, you know, making sure that... Oh, you know what? Hold on, where's the arm? I do need to fix that. This. That comes out of there. So anything where these fingers are, I have to get rid of this. Except for down there. There we are. Oh, it froze again. Hold on, I got it back. I see it. I see it. Don't worry, I caught it quick this time. So, there we are. Where are the legs? Where are the legs? There's the legs. Oh, same as the arm layer. Okay, so get that out of there. Let's get that out of there. All right, very nice. Oh, and in the shoe. Don't need the leg to be in the shoe. Not the lines of the leg don't need to be in the shoe. The leg is in the shoe. That is how legs work with shoes. But not in the sense of the drawing. More the sense of the wearing of the thing. Okay, no, it's not there. So that, okay. Oh, leg. Sorry. Missed the part of the leg. There it is. This comes out of here. And out of here. All right. And, okay, hold on. Alright, let's fix that. So don't forget. That's okay. Let's see, what is this? Oh, yeah, that is it. Alright, take that out. And, oh, that might be it. Okay, so now all we need are the... Did it freeze again? No, it can't. Yeah, it did, but I got it back. I got it back. You're right, it did freeze, though. Yeah, I don't know why it's freezing so much tonight. It has not frozen this much before. I don't feel like. I mean, it's frozen before, but I feel like it froze quite a bit this time. So, should be back now. Unless it's frozen and I just can't tell because it's delayed, which could be. But hopefully it's come back. All right, so let's do our shading lines on the... Oh, okay, clear that. That should not have been there. Let's draw these in. Yeah, it should be unfrozen now. So let's draw that and that and that. The hair, that other hair stuff I'm gonna do, but I gotta figure out what I want to do with that. I mean, it's gonna be something like this, right? You know. But I'll figure that out. You noticed it froze just after. Okay, good. Yeah. Well, no, but thank you for saying that because I do have a tendency to miss it. It's not like I haven't missed it before. I'm trying to be better about sort of keeping a side eye on it, I guess you would say. But I'm not always great about it because if I do kind of get locked into something, I will miss it. I absolutely will miss it. So thank you for keeping an eye on it. I wish this thing made a sound. Maybe there's a way to make it have a sound when there's a chat that comes in. There probably is, now that I think about it. I probably just don't have it enabled. But I would imagine there's got to be a way to have it make a sound, and then I would be able to look up and know what's going on instead of having to constantly just remind myself, look up, look up, look up, look up, you know. Not that I can't do that, but like I said, it does kind of break the flow of drawing. Oh, it froze. Wait. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. I thought it froze again, but it was just because the line's so small I didn't see it. It didn't. I thought it did. Nope, like that. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, there was a weird... I remember there was a weird shadow on this arm, but I'm going to stick with it because I kind of like it. It's different. It's different. I mean, I'm sure it makes sense in motion seeing it. It just looks weird when I'm doing it like this. But I remember the shadow was there. I saw it. There wasn't a shadow here, but I feel like there should be one like there. And probably one there. I mean, I can add whatever shadows I want too. That's the other nice part, because I can just do whatever I want. And we'll put that one there, loop that up. Whoa, not like that though. That looks weird. There we are. Okay, and okay. And loop this. And these aren't the only shadows. I will come in and do some other stuff, but these are just kind of the broad stuff to start on. And I'll probably darken all this stuff in and then see what it looks like, because again, it's going to be on a pretty small scale. So I have to kind of evaluate it as I go, see what makes sense and what doesn't. So loop that around there, bring this like this. That's going to be filled in. Loop that there. Bring this up. Okay, still not frozen. Hana Sophia. Hello, Hana Sophia. Something I've seen people do for stream chats, they have the chat output to a second monitor and then run that display out through a projector. Interesting. Well, I don't know that I have the desk room to do that. I've seen some really, I mean, I've watched streams where people have some really amazing setups. They also tend to have a whole room dedicated to it in a lot of cases. But that's an interesting idea, is the idea of a projector down the desk. That actually might be a fun thing to look at. If I can get something that's small and compact enough, I wouldn't mind doing that. It's just a matter of figuring out how it would work. But I have seen people with some unbelievable stream setups. But those are also, I think a lot of times, the people who are doing it for hours on end. So yeah, their setups are amazing because that's what they're doing a lot of the time. But I am really amazed at some of the stuff that people come up with, some of the creative stuff I've seen. And the fact that a lot of this stuff, you can, I mean, it's pretty easy to get stuff to do this now. It used to be you really had to basically cobble together a setup. You don't really have to do that anymore now. There's a lot of companies that make things that, you know, they're not always, they can be expensive, but you can really accomplish just about anything now. It's kind of nuts what you can do. All right, I think, yep, okay. I didn't even really go over, I didn't even have to use 2 layers for these. I was able to just do it all in one shot. Oh wait, no, that was supposed to be there. Wow, that really is that's how it was? Wow, that's a weird coincidence. Okay, no, I can't live with that. This line can't be like that. That makes it look like it's one big thing. So we're just gonna do that. Because otherwise it looks like it's the same line. Yeah, there we go. That's good. Getting there. Getting there. Humans will do anything to have to do less, and that's truly beautiful. Yes, it can be. Yes, it certainly can be. I agree with that. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring the stream to a close here. Let me just group these up first. Because I was aiming for 45 minutes, and I'm coming right up on an hour, so not bad. Not bad. So thank you for stopping by, and I don't know why line work can be one word. Work. No, not, I don't want to capitalize, though. There we are. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out for a bit. I appreciate you coming by to watch me work on this thing. Yep, it'll get where I want it to be. See, it's going to be about that size. So see, once it's all darkened in and everything, it'll be a lot easier. And plus, you know, I'll turn the guide off. But once it's all done, I think it's going to look good. So, yeah. So once again, thank you for coming by. I'm going to go ahead and, boom, put my Be Right Back screen up, which I finally was able to get it fading in because I had to basically fake it by recording a video of it fading in, which is just nonsense. But hey, it works. So whatever. But yeah. Yep. Like I said, oh, geez, almost dropped my iPad. Don't do that. So thank you for coming by and hanging out. I've seen some people come in and out, which is nice. I like people dropping in and out. That's great. I like that. I like people who stick around too, but it's nice to see people coming in for a little bit and floating off, because I don't think people should feel like they have to sit here and watch it the whole way through. I really aim to have this stream be a relaxing thing that you don't have to worry about. That's why I always say, if you're watching this later, that's fine too. I don't care. It's okay. I'm not looking to become a live streaming superstar. I just like to draw stuff, and it's fun to let people watch it if they want to. So thank you for coming by. I probably will not do a stream before next week, so assuming I'm not going to, have a wonderful weekend. Go be creative, or go experience some more creativity if you can, whether you're watching somebody else's stream, or go do something yourself, which anybody can be creative. You do not have to have any type of talent to express yourself creatively. Don't fall into that trap. Humans are inherently creative. You can do something creative, even if it's something small, even if it's only something for yourself, it's still worth doing. So thank you again for coming by. Whether you're watching this live or later does not make any difference to me. I just appreciate that you stopped by. And again, try to get more creativity in your life. It's good for your mind, your body, and your soul. And on that note, until the next stream, have a great weekend. If in fact, when you're watching this, the weekend's coming up. If you're watching this on a Monday, well, you'll still have a great weekend. It's just going to take a little longer. Anyhow, thanks for stopping by. And until the next stream, take care.